Welcome, friends. Welcome back to the kitchen. Welcome back to what was on sale today. Today, at the grocery store, there was a cryovac, one of the bunkers in the meat department, filled with cryovac pork tenderloins. There were 2 pieces of pork tenderloin in the cryovac, and it was $4 for just a shade over a kilo. If you live in a pound country, you can work that out on your own. Pretty inexpensive for this cut of meat. And this isn't a cut of meat that I often cook. I find that if you, if you just overcook it even just a little bit, it gets terribly dry. Something I usually stay away from. But for $4, that'll feed Julie and I for 3 nights. So I put a little bit of oil on it, and I'm going to coat it all over with the oil. Rub it on. And what I have here is our Montreal steak spice. And I'm just going to get that coated all over as well. So I'll drop a link, or I'll try to remember to drop a link for the Montreal steak spice that we make down in with the recipe in the description box. I know it's called Montreal steak spice, but it works really well on pork. Now, I've got a couple hours before Julie gets home from work, so I'm just going to set this aside and let those flavors soak in before we start cooking it. Okay, I've got a pan. And it can be any kind of pan that's oven safe. This one is an enameled cast iron, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever you can shove in the oven, because we're going to brown the tenderloins and then stick them in the oven. I mean, this is fairly standard stuff. I'm not going too far off-piste. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the bottom of the pan. And then we just want to brown these. And depending on your heat, somewhere between 3 to 5 minutes per side. You could do all sides. I mean, you could continually turn this because they're round and get all 4, 6, 8, however many sides are in this round. Generally, though, if you do one flip, that's probably enough. The oven is preheated to 425. These are going to finish in the oven. So this browning step is just to build some flavor on the outside of the tenderloin and in the bottom of the pan. Okay, let's flip that over and see. Okay, these are looking pretty good. I'm going to take an instant read thermometer and stick it inside this one. I'm looking for 145 degrees Fahrenheit for this to be finished. So into the oven until we reach 145. Okay, sounds like we've reached the temperature. So turn that off and pull this out. Make sure I don't get the wire caught on anything. And I'm just going to put this here. Cover it with tin foil. And what we've got here is going to make an amazing pan sauce. So over to the stove top. Okay, so I'm going to put some butter in the bottom of the pan. A couple tablespoons maybe. And this is right out of the fridge, so it's pretty hard. Then I've got some minced shallot and some sliced up mushrooms. I'm going to put those in. This is looking pretty good. We've got some good color there on the mushrooms and the shallots. So this next bit, if you are uncomfortable with it, don't do it. I'm going to take some brandy. I'm going to pour it in and deglaze the bottom of the pan. And as it bubbles up, I'm going to set it on fire. Stand back. Don't do it if you're uncomfortable. There you go. Okay, can you see it burning? Probably just barely, just the last little bit. There we go. That's going to add just an incredible amount of caramely flavor. And the alcohol will, in this instance, mostly burn off. Okay, last ingredient. Some cream. About that much. Turn the heat off at this point, and we'll just stir that in.
Hey,
Jules.
Glenn. Hey, friends. It smells great, and I'm guessing it's that cognac.
Yes. Yes. It does bring an incredible aroma to the dish. Okay, so
One of my favorites, and I'm guessing cream.
yes, cream, shallots, and we've got
Huh, a little bit of...
pork tenderloin. So let's slice this off and see
All right.
how it goes.
I'll get a fork.
It's looking pretty moist, Jules. Look at that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put a couple of these on a plate so I can put the sauce on top. Because
I'm going to get a knife, too.
all about the sauce. There we go.
So I carefully stayed away with my knife because I didn't want to have an accident. There we go. That looks great.
So, $4 worth of pork tenderloin. Cut it up there, Jules. That'll feed us for 3 or 4 nights.
You and I, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot in there.
Okay.
I could not get enough mushrooms on there.
Pan sauce.
I love cognac and cream.
Yeah.
I can put that on almost anything.
Yeah. I mean,
I can put it on peas. I can like anything.
anytime I do a steak in a pan like that and put it in the oven, that's the sauce I make. Doesn't matter what. The shallots, the mushrooms, cream, and cognac or brandy.
Brandy.
Doesn't matter. It's an amazing sauce. The tenderloin is really nice and juicy, nice and soft. It's that quick sear and then high temperature in the oven. It was in the oven for maybe 15 minutes and it was done.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Fast.
So it's fast. It is something that you could do when you get home from work. You could put the Montreal steak spice or any spice combo you like on this before you go to work. Leave it in the fridge all day. Come home and slam it in the oven and you're good to go.
Da-da-da.
Excellent cheap meal. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.